A very good morning to the principal of SMK Datu Jafar, Tuan Karudin bin Abdul Rauf, our teachers and fellow friends. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of you for joining us today in the launch of our very own flipbook, our classmate Munis. Today we are joined by our principal Tuan Karudin bin Abdul Rauf, Adeline Chong, who's our illustrator, and Munis Lalitaswari, our main character. Before I elaborate on why we decided to make this flipbook, I would like to inform the audience that there will be a Q&A session at the end. So feel free to leave any questions you have in the chat and we'll get to them later on. So the reason that we came up with this flipbook was because of the ongoing pandemic, which made us find new as well as creative ways in order to study. That's when we stumbled upon the idea of making a flipbook, as it was an effective way not only to improve our language, but also allowing us to have fun in the process. I would now like to invite our principal, Tuan Karudin bin Abdul Rauf, to say a few words and to launch our flipbook, our classmate Munis.
Thank you, Edmund. Good morning to the teachers and students. Technology is an important part of our life today as it teaches us how to improve our life wisely and efficiently. In today's situation, teachers and students have to study from home. There are both advantages and challenges to it. One of the advantages is that students would not feel stressed by studying from home because they would have plenty of time to organize their studies. Moreover, students would have access to their books, notes, computer, and teachers' support. This would enable students to revise and plan their timetable well. However, there are challenges of not having access to Wi-Fi or internet as it can be costly. This will prevent them from joining online classes such as Zoom and Google Meet. Furthermore, students would feel bored studying at home and are not able to engage in their social life. This may cause them to feel depressed and demotivated. I hope with parent encouragement, teachers' guidance, and positive peer support, students can still study from home and they can optimize their lockdown time well. Teachers and students, I am very proud that the students of semester 3 maths have cooperated well and carried out an online project using Flipbook. SDJ students are able to be creative and innovative by coming up with a Flipbook of their very own. It takes great responsibility and diligence to complete a Flipbook within a limited time. Not only they represent themselves, but also their school. Before ending my speech, I would love to tell them, students, to never give up and keep on with their dream in life, just as how they managed to complete this amazing Flipbook. Dengan nama Allah yang Maha Pemurah lagi Maha Mengasihani, segala puji bagi Allah. I would like to congratulate all members of the project and launch the Flipbook, our classmate Munis. Thank you.
You talk about title first, then I talk about the character.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Tuan Karudin, for joining us today for our launching ceremony and for your kind and encouraging words. I'm sure the majority of students, teachers, and parents share the same opinion. I also hope that all students, teachers, and parents alike heed to your advice in order to ensure that we can persevere, especially through trying times such as these. I would now like to begin the panel discussion. Good morning to both Adeline and Munis.
Good morning.
Good morning, Edmund.
As you guys can see, so what we have up now is the cover to our flipbook. Munis, would you care to describe about the characters on the flipbook?
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so in the middle one is me who wearing blue color baju kurung, and my specs were drawn in black color because my specs will turn to black when it exposed to sun. Okay, so I will start with Zilin. Okay, Zilin actually she's an ambitious person who will aim higher, but so that she can work for it. So next is Rashida. Okay, Rashida is a caring person. Like if you got problem, if you talk to her, she will give you advice and will comfort you. Okay, next is Edmund. Okay, Edmund is a techie guy who is good in computer, and if you ask him about anything about computer, surely he will help you. And Megan. Okay, Megan actually is like our class top student, and she always get 4 flat for her exams. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Esther. Okay, Esther is a hardworking person. Even though recess time, she will like keep on studying and keep on doing the maths until it's solved. And as you guys know, Adeline, she's good in drawing and she will pass up the homework 2 days before the deadline. Okay, so other character will be described by Adeline.
Okay, thank you, Munis. So next, I'll talk about the trio of our class, which is Wei Chet, Guan Ping, and Thor. So I'll talk about Thor first. Thor is the person who will ace in maths, and he's really good in mental calculations. And he most of the time will play phone with his friend, which is Guan Ping and Wei Chet. However, he's willing to help out whenever we ask for help, especially in maths or accounts. Guan Ping is our class monitor, and he's a happy guy and he doesn't take things to heart. He also loves to play with mobile phones games. And next is Wei Chek. He has a good memory and he also ace in his subjects. He also loves to play phone with his friends, which is Guan Ping and Thor. Next, we have Shalina, or we always call her Sharu. She will be the first person who always come to school in the morning, and she's a good listener, and she's willing to help out her friends whenever they're in trouble. And lastly is Rahul. Rahul is a really polite guy, and he is helpful where he will always be the first to come out and lend a helping hand, be it his friends or his teachers. Edmund, unmute.
Edmund. Edmund.
So now I would like to move on to the credit section of our flipbook. We have 3 story writers, which are Liu Zilin, Rahul Ram Nair, and Shailna Root. Both graphic illustrations and the design ideas came from Evelyn Chong. The flipbook was compiled by me, Edmund Anthony, and Megan Leo. Online networking was handled by Shailna Root. There are also a few other contributors, which are our classmates, who consist of Esther Jabamalar, Lu Wei Chat, Munis Lalita Suri, Rashida, Tan Guan Ping, and Thor Lit En. We'd also like to give special thanks to our principal, Tuan Karudin bin Abdul Rauf, Puan Aminah binti Hamid, and our math teacher, Dr. Navinder Kaur. So next, I'd like to show you the first page of the book, which is also coincidentally my favorite page. So the entire flipbook follows this format, where there's an illustration followed with a paragraph that describes the illustration. So on the first page, it shows Munis sleeping in the back seat of the car while Zerli is driving her to school. And this is the scene every day, so this is very, very accurate. And also, before getting out of the car, Munis will spend 10 minutes at least combing her hair to ensure she looks as pretty as possible when getting out of the car. So, speaking of Munis, which one of this is your favorite page?
Okay, so my favorite page will be page 9, where every one of our classmates will playing scissor, paper, stone and Among Us together while there is no teacher. Okay, so during that, I will feel energetic to play scissor, paper, stone because normally have bad things like who else lost this game will have to clean up the class. So I will try my best to win this game in order not to clean up the class.
So
Okay.
Munis, how often do you win? Not very often, right?
0.01%.
Okay. Adeline, how about you? Which one of these pages was the most difficult to illustrate?
So to me is that I find the page where Rahul and Edmund were featured, which is page 7. In my opinion, it was quite challenging as I need to accurately depict their features and expression, especially for Munis, who had a frustrated look when Rahul and Edmund were hiding a phone. Moreover, I had to play around with the perspective where I had to focus on Munis while having the reader's attention on Rahul and Edmund too.
Thank you very much, Adeline. Yes, I can see that you very accurately captured her very worried and also confused emotion, while also the sly looks on both mine and Rahul's face. Okay, so guys, later you'll be able to view this entire flipbook through a link that will be posted in the chat at the end. So for now, I'd like to move on to questions and answers with the panel members. Okay, so I think I'll begin with Munis as our main character and the star of our show. All right. So Munis, would you be able to answer a few questions?
Yeah, sure, Edmund.
Thank you. So the first question that I'd like to ask you is, how do you feel about being the main character in this book?
I'm glad to be the main character of this flipbook, but I'm not the only one who playing an important role in this flipbook. But also my 11 other wonderful classmates also playing a vital part in this flipbook. As you can see, each page highlight with one or two classmates being displayed. So this make every page of the story interesting and promotes the warm friendship among us. All my classmates are very important and this has created a positive impact on our life and our studies. We learn to share ideas, discuss problems, and play together. Truly, our Form 6 life have been amazing.
I'm sure that your Form 6 life is very memorable and hopefully you get more memories in the months to come. But I would like to find out more about the process of creating this flipbook. How was it like?
Okay, so the process of creating this flipbook was been exciting. Initially, we were not sure what to do when we begin this, but we began with brainstorming during our Muet lesson online. All my classmates suggested some points and slowly the points become clearer. We listed down the main part and keep on editing and improving the story. Based on the storyline, we link it our classmates' character, then we dedicate the work to each person to make sure everyone plays their own part. Finally, we compile everything into one flipbook. Thankfully, with everyone's contribution, we managed to finish this flipbook with minimal amount of difficulty.
Thank you very much, Munis. Did you guys face any challenges when coming out with this flipbook?
Okay, we didn't really face any challenges because we always work and discuss in the group. The only drawback was meeting virtually because of this COVID situation, which was pretty hard to get used to it in the beginning. But as everyone was dedicated to do this project, we managed to make it work. Sometimes we could not get online or we were suddenly cut off by internet line. Okay, so beside that, we Google and check on YouTube for ideas and solution of creating a flipbook because creating a flipbook was something new to us. But despite that, we still managed to finish it. The bigger challenge was going online to launch it. Edmund, can you please explain on this?
Oh, sure. So in order to launch this flipbook, we are using the YouTube platform. But in order to stream to YouTube itself, we're using an external software which is called OBS, also known as Open Broadcaster Software. It's a free and relatively easy to use software. But the benefit is you also have the ability to tinker around and improve your stream quality. So this software enables anyone and everyone who has an average computer and an above average internet connection to stream to multiple platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and even Twitter. So thank you very much, Munis. But moving on, as you will see later on, The entire flipbook has been digitally hand-drawn by our illustrator, Adeline Chong. So I'd like to ask Adeline a few questions. I'd like to begin with, what inspires you to draw?
Okay, so what at first inspired me to draw is that initially it started as a hobby where my mother will teach me how to design clothes when I was young and through comic books. She also supported me by teaching me how to color. I was also awed by how most comic artists are able to convey messages from a few comic panels with very few words. Some illustrations also have really great dynamics and perspective art to be able to convey the action of a character accurately. Thus, it has inspired me to get into drawing to replicate the same art.
So your parents have played a very vital role in who you are now, especially in the sense of your illustrations, right? It's very good to
Yes.
see. So this flipbook is about maybe 10 to 15 pages long, and there are some pages that look very, very complex to draw. So how much of your time did it take?
It actually depends on the complexity of the illustration. For this flipbook project, it took me around like 2 hours per page. Thus, it took me around 23 hours for the whole illustration flipbook project. However, it was spread to a month due to online classes and personal works. Most of the time were used in storyboarding, as that is the core of the whole flipbook, which is being able to convey the message through a picture. After the storyboard, I will transfer the sketch to a new canvas and begin line arting and coloring. The coloring part also took up most of the time as I need to be able to set the mood by playing with the colors, such as using vibrant colors to set out a cheerful and playful setting and warm colors for a heartwarming setting.
That's very nice to know, Adeline. So much dedication you had to put into this flipbook, right? Among the audience, there may be someone who also wants to become a graphic design artist or illustrator such as yourself. So what are like the vital features that they need to have in order to become a successful illustrator?
So the most important thing you need will be creativity. So although you have expensive art supplies or a very expensive drawing tablet, without creative juice, you are unable to produce art that is able to satisfy yourself and your viewers. Confidence is also an important point where one should go all out and believe in themselves to try new skills. Initially, I was reluctant to join in this project due to my lack in confidence and enjoying the flipbook with a new art style that is suitable and efficient. However, with our teacher's guidance and my friend's support on getting me to draw for the flipbook, I took this as a challenge to improve myself and develop an art style that will be accepted for the flipbook. Adding on, art techniques and art knowledge are also required to become a graphic artist, such as the use of colors, anatomy, and knowledge on art programs.
Thank you, Adeline. But I'd like to focus on two key things that you said, which were creativity and confidence. Unlike everything else, they are not skills which you can learn overnight or even practice and gain. So what methods can people take in order to gain and enhance their creativity as well as their confidence for not only illustration but also everything in everyday life?
So I'll first talk about creativity. So there are actually many ways to be creative. In my opinion, one of the ways to be creative is by searching up your favorite artists in social media, such as Instagram or Twitter. So when you look at other artists' illustrations or even just their short time lapse of how they draw, you may be able to get inspired and you may learn to pick up some new skills just from their short time lapse. Or you can scroll in a website called Pinterest to create a mood board or find any interesting pictures that may spark inspiration in your brain. There are also another way where you can go out and take a walk so that you can get your visual part of your brain start working and catch attention on simple but yet beautiful part that will make you want to put it down on paper. As for confidence, the only thing I could say for confidence is that you have to take the first step, which is start doing on the things that you want to do. No matter how long you procrastinate it, you have to take the first step to do the work. And in order to gain the confidence, it's best or ideal to get other people's point of view of what is your work, how does it look like. Because from there, you are able to know where are you at, and they may be able to give you some advice that will be able to help you out to improve on whatever work you're doing. So these are my few advice on how to be creative and gain confidence.
Thank you very much, Adeline, for shedding light on all those points. Now I'd like to open our Q&A session with the audience. So the audience may feel free to leave your questions in the live chat, which will be on your right if you're watching this on PC or laptop, or below the video if you're on mobile. And there's already one question from Nurul Maisara. She asks, let me see this. So, how do you get motivated in producing the flipbook? I think maybe Adeline, you could answer this because, like you said, it took over a month in order to, hand draw every single page. So, how do you stay motivated throughout the process?
So actually, thanks to my teachers, friends, and parental support. So I get motivation from people's praise on my work and getting constructive critics on my work as I work on it to be able to produce the best work. Where I sometimes will share short work in progress screenshot of it to my teachers, and then she'll give me feedbacks on how to improve or how good it is. For example, like some of the drawings they have really good colors on it, and sometimes my teachers will praise on how the colors will complement with the drawings and be able to set up a mood. And sometimes my teachers will also tell me like that this part I could improve, like I could maybe show this part more so that people can be able to pay more attention to it, or be able to tell me how to put the text inside and improve on the fonts so that people are be able to read the text.
Thank you very much, Adeline. Okay, so there's a few more questions coming in. There's one from Chai Ming Jing. He's asking, will students become too isolated and have less teamwork? I assume he means during times like this where we're all restricted to our homes. Munis, would you want to answer that one?
Okay, yeah, sure. I don't think so. The student will be isolated because they still can communicate through when they open their mic or open their webcam. They still can communicate with their classmate, teachers, and they still can make their jokes. So I don't think so. They will be isolated. They will still be around their friends.
I agree very much, Munis. I feel that for me, I feel that even though we're all stuck at home, there's still a lot of, like you said, communication and collaboration going on between us and our friends and also our teachers, where even like a big project like this that requires a lot of teamwork can still be possible. So I don't feel that students become isolated or have less teamwork. So the next question comes from Luxury by Logian Devar. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. How much was the cost you spent for the software? I assume he means for the streaming software. And as I mentioned earlier, OBS is completely free. And all the overlays, the backgrounds you're seeing on the stream, I handmade them myself. And the drawings, I used Ellen's drawings. So they're also free, technically. It just took a lot of man hours. But yeah, like I said, the cost for streaming is extremely low. As long as you have an internet and a good PC, it's possible. OBS is free, YouTube is free. Make an account and you can stream. So the next question comes from Pravina Sri. Her question is, can webinars create an impact on learning strategies? Adeline, would you answer that one?
Yes, sure. So there are actually good and bad impact of the webinar in learning strategy. So I'll talk about the good impact first. The good impact is that we are able to study in our comfort zone, where every stationery and books are within an arm's reach. Moreover, we may be more productive in our study zone in our room, because I'm sure all of us in our room has a proper study table with all the books in front of us, and the phone and laptop is in front, and our stationaries are within us. However, there are also some bad impact in the learning with the virtual meeting. So, and also not many people has the not many people has the privilege in studying through webinar or virtual meetings. Some students may not be able to have access to stable and strong internet to be able to participate in the webinar. Thus, this may give the students a disadvantage where they are unable to catch up with their studies or current events happening in the classroom. They may not be able to know what is the homework that were given by the teachers too. And also, when you study through webinar or virtual meetings, you need to have a really strong self-discipline where you have to focus on whatever the teachers is teaching through the screen and have your phones far away. If your phones are near you or is not on a silent or vibrate mode, it may disrupt your attention when teacher is teaching, and you will divert your focus onto your phone, and you may not be productive, but instead you'll be procrastinating or will not be able to gain any knowledge that was given by the teachers. So I think there's a pros and cons in learning through webinar or virtual meetings.
I completely agree with what Adeline just said, and I'd like to add on my own opinion to this. I feel that another one of the benefits of virtual meeting, however, on the other hand, is that it is a form of confidence in a way, just because that when you're in real life and you're meeting face to face, some people might not feel confident speaking, especially when they think that people will judge them for their appearance and stuff like that. So by being behind this kind of virtual background where you can just turn off your camera, you can speak freely, and this would really benefit those that are introverts, as they won't be afraid that they're being judged. Sorry. Okay, Adeline, there's a question directed towards you. Sinyi wants to know, what are the challenges that you face when drawing?
So there are actually a few challenges that I face when I'm drawing. One of it will be the anatomy of the body. Even though it is a stylized art, I still have to ensure that the proportions of the body is accurate. And also, I face one of the biggest issue, which is time management. Due to online classes, homework, and my personal works, I need to find time to finish up this flipbook project while ensuring I did not overwork myself. Another challenge that I face is facing the criticism. Some of us may not be able to take criticism, as our mind prefer to hear compliments more than criticism. However, I find, to me, I have to learn to face the music and take the criticism as the truth of other people's point of view and enable me to improve on whatever I am lacking of.
Thank you very much, Adeline. Oh, Munis, Rashida is asking you a very important question. Please think carefully before you answer. What do you feel about Adeline's illustrations of you and your friends?
Okay, so when the first time she sketched the one I sleeping in Liu Ziling's car, like she wanted to present to everyone, that like shocked me and my whole class. For an unprofessional artist to draw same like an professional artist, like the way she draw the what facial expression is so accurate, and the way like the colors all like so perfect for she to like draw like that. I think that is her hidden talent that we haven't know yet, but she can improve it.
So, Adeline, are you happy with this answer?
Probably for now.
Okay, that's good to know. There's a question from Miku Pumpkin. What's the message that you want to send to the reader, and what's your advice to encourage people to read the flipbook? I think the main message for me in this entire thing is to show teamwork and also the harmonious relationship between our classmates. Because as you can see, like someone as jovial as Munis interacts very well with every single one of the classmates. Like she has a good relationship with everybody. So I think that's the main point. But subliminally, another message we would like to send through this flipbook project is teamwork. Because like we mentioned multiple times already, because of this lockdown phase where we are restricted to our homes, it's harder to communicate because we're not meeting each other physically. So teamwork and communication plays a very vital role in this point of time. So I think that's the main message we'd like to send out. And what's our advice to encourage people to read the flipbook? I think the main reason you should read the flipbook is because it's very interesting, believe me. There are some parts that are very funny, and the drawings are on point throughout the book. Adeline did a wonderful job, and the story of Munis' daily life is very interesting. Okay, so the next question is, what are the drawbacks of webinar? I think Adeline already covered that one earlier when someone asked about the impact, so I'll skip that one. Thank you for the question though. And Lavanya Murali is asking, did you get frustrated at any point of this project? If yes, how did you overcome it? Adeline, would you want to answer this? Because your process was the longest. So was there any point of frustration, and how did you overcome it?
In all honesty, yes, there are some points of frustration where I have to face when I'm doing this whole project thing, because this is my first time I'm doing a really big flipbook project where I have to start from a storyboard to a sketch to the line art and then to the coloring, and which includes the putting in the text of the stories. And yes, I do face frustrations where like sometimes I could not finish the work within the timetable that I put in, or even in the planned out time that I wanted to ensure that everything is doing smoothly. So when I face that kind of frustration, I will sometimes just post whatever my current progress is, to be it my online friends or to my teachers and my friends. So whenever they give me a little compliments or even like telling me that it's really good, keep it up, it actually gives me a sense of satisfaction and give me the motivation to continue and finish it. So I really want to thanks to my teachers and my friends, be it online or my classmates, to actually give me a sense of motivation and satisfaction to really finish up this whole flipbook project.
Thank you very much, Ellen, for your answer. For me, also, there were multiple points throughout planning this live stream where there are a lot of hiccups that we had to go through. And how I overcame it was I would just stop what I'm doing at current moment, like, put it aside, close OBS, close YouTube, and go do something else. Maybe walk in the park behind my house, or take my dog for a walk, or play with my dog, play with my multiple cats, or play computer games. So I think the best way for me to like release that frustration is to find other productive and also enjoyable methods that I like doing. So I'll forget about this problem for a while and I can come back to it with a fresh mind. Another question from Pravina Sri. What are your future plans? I think I'll start with Adeline. Being future plans, I would assume it means whether that you're going to pursue illustration as a full-time career, or is it going to be a part-time side hobby with small projects along the way?
So to me, is that I'll probably pursue graphic design in the future as my career. Or maybe I'll just take out some illustration commissions as a part-time job, as I don't want to overstress myself. And yeah, so it depends on my whichever course I'm taking in the future too.
Thank you very much, Adeline. My future plans on my end is I do want to pursue something that includes the English language in it. Maybe journalism, probably not, but maybe. I plan to teach English at a point, hopefully. And I feel that as my future plan, I would feel that maybe streaming is a viable option, because I find that it's not only a cheap, it's basically free. So it's an inexpensive and also effective method to communicate with people, and maybe not only share knowledge but also gain knowledge from other people, like through the live chat or something like that. Munis, what about you? What are your future plans?
Okay, so my future plan is to be a financial manager, and in the same time, maybe I will acting for part time as a minor character. So okay, let's
Very
see
nice
what's
to hear,
happened in the
Munis.
future.
Okay. Oh, Adeline, there's multiple compliments for you. Miku Pumpkin says, "Nice drawing, Adeline. Wish I can learn from you." I have no idea
Okay, thank you.
who she or he is, but and also Puan Jodi said that these caricatures are super awesome and precise. Congrats. So I think all kudos goes to you, Adeline. Okay, so
Thank you, teacher.
I don't see any more questions in the chat. But I'd like to ask Munis another question. Like
Yeah.
we mentioned communication and teamwork multiple times. So how important was communication for this project?
Okay, communication is the main key of this project because this project is based on teamwork. So like one person will be in charge of storyline and one person will in charge of the illustration. So we must keep on communicating in order to know what like Adeline going to draw or the storyline going to be. So I think communication is the key, and it can build up your confidence and can speak out your ideas or your opinion about the storyline or the characters you draw.
Yes, I agree. Also, another vital thing for this project was critical thinking, because we all had to think of our own ideas. There was nothing in a book, because it's the first time we are doing this. It's the
Yeah.
first time for not only us, I think for a lot of people. I don't think they've had this experience before, and I'm like encouraging you to go out and try this, because it's a very good experience to have. It's very fun, kind of mind-wracking, but worth it in the end. So critical thinking plays a vital part not only in this project, but also in education in recent years, especially because everyone nowadays has to think of their own solutions. It's no more they give you questions and the answers are like written down and you know picture perfect. You have to think for your own solutions for your own problems. So there are no more questions from the chat. Puan Idza saying excellent, bravo. Once again, kudos to you, Edlin. All right, so with that, I think we can end our live stream. We hope that those who are viewing this can benefit from it one way or another, especially for. Before I end it, there's another question from Puan Jodi. Any plans for part 2 of our classmate Munis? Munis? Any plans?
That would depends on Munis' life if there's any more interesting things that happen to her. Who knows that maybe when we come back to school, there'll be more interesting events to happen.
Maybe
Then,
part 2 is based on Edmund or Adeline. Who knows?
I know it's about Munis. So
I'm very sure it'll be about Munis. Don't worry, Munis. You're the most interesting character here.
yes, you're the main character here. So maybe.
Okay. There's another question from Miku Pumpkin. Oh, also the same question, but a twist. Are there any future plans to continue this book with other characters? Like Munis was saying, maybe Adeline or Adeline, not me. So Adeline, would you be willing to, draw more of these flipbooks?
I think that depends again because we are going to face STPM SEM 3. And so yeah, it depends on the time again.
I agree.
Because time is an important role in this.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all the questions the chat has. I'm going to end it here. If I missed any questions, I'm very sorry. But we hope that those who are viewing this can benefit from this live stream and also the flipbook one way or another. But if you're going to take home anything, I feel that the most important things to take away will be the importance of communication, teamwork, and collaboration, especially in times like this. And so you guys may view the flipbook through the link that will be posted in the chat shortly. Thank you all very much for your time. But before we go, Puan Jodi said to find Munis a hero. Don't worry, teacher. We are working on it. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.